What if I told you the serpent in the Garden of Eden wasn't a snake at all? For centuries, we've accepted the idea of a cunning reptile tempting humanity. But what if this ancient figure symbolizes something far more profound? Let's dive into the mystery of the Genesis serpent, a creature that may challenge everything you thought you knew about the Bible. The story of Adam and Eve in the book of Genesis is one of the most well-known narratives in human history. At the heart of this tale is the serpent, a creature that deceives humanity into disobeying God and eating from the tree of knowledge. Most people imagine this serpent as a literal snake. But what if this serpent represents something deeper, more symbolic, and perhaps more unsettling? In this video, we're peeling back the layers of history, language, and theology to uncover the serpent's true identity. From ancient Hebrew meanings to fascinating parallels in mythology and archaeology, get ready to see the Genesis serpent in a whole new light. The first clue lies in the original Hebrew text. The word used for serpent in Genesis is nahash, and it's not as straightforward as it seems. While nahash can mean snake, it also carries other meanings, like enchanter or diviner. Some scholars even link it to a root word meaning shining one or illuminated being. This interpretation paints the serpent not as a simple animal, but as a possibly divine or supernatural figure. Could the nahash have been a celestial being with knowledge forbidden to humans? It's an interpretation that changes everything. Next, let's expand the lens to the ancient Near East, the cultural backdrop of the Bible. Mythologies from Mesopotamia, Canaan, and Egypt also feature serpent-like beings. For example, in Sumerian myths, serpents were often linked to wisdom and immortality. The Egyptian god Apep was a serpent who symbolized chaos and opposed the order of the gods. Could the Genesis serpent be part of this broader tradition? If so, its role in Eden might not have been random, but deeply tied to ancient symbolic storytelling. In Genesis, the serpent tempts Eve with knowledge, specifically, the knowledge of good and evil. This act is far more than a simple temptation. It represents duality, the conflict between innocence and awareness, obedience and rebellion. The serpent's offer of forbidden knowledge challenges God's authority, making it a figure of both enlightenment and transgression. Was the serpent merely a tempter, or was it offering humanity something God didn't want them to have? It's a question that blurs the lines between villain and liberator. Another interpretation positions the serpent as a representation of chaos. In many ancient traditions, serpents were symbols of disorder, standing against the gods who represented order and creation. In this context, the Genesis serpent wasn't just a trickster, it was an embodiment of the chaos that God sought to contain in creation. By introducing doubt and disobedience, it challenged the divine order of Eden. This perspective opens up a fascinating philosophical dimension to the story. Fast forward to early Christianity, where the serpent takes on an even darker identity: Satan. The book of Revelation explicitly calls Satan that ancient serpent. But this wasn't always the case. Early Jewish texts didn't universally equate the serpent with the devil. Instead, this connection emerged as Christianity evolved, reshaping the serpent's role into that of an ultimate adversary. This reinterpretation added layers of fear and morality to the story, framing the serpent as a personification of evil. Modern archaeology has uncovered artifacts and texts that provide alternative perspectives on the serpent. For instance, ancient seals depict serpents alongside trees, suggesting they were seen as guardians of sacred knowledge rather than villains. Some scholars argue that the serpent in Eden might have been a figure associated with wisdom or transformation, similar to its role in other cultures. This shifts the narrative from simple temptation to a complex story of knowledge and its consequences. Today, interpretations of the Genesis serpent continue to evolve. Some see it as a symbol of free will, representing humanity's choice to question authority. Others view it as a critique of hierarchy, with the serpent challenging the established order of the divine. Modern spiritual movements often reclaim the serpent as a figure of empowerment, wisdom, and transformation. This perspective reinvigorates the ancient story, showing its relevance in discussions about morality, autonomy, and the nature of knowledge. So, was the Genesis serpent truly a snake? Or was it something far more complex, a symbol of chaos, enlightenment, or rebellion? From the Hebrew nahash to its role in early Christian theology, this figure challenges us to look beyond surface interpretations. The serpent's story isn't just about temptation, it's about humanity's eternal struggle with knowledge, authority, and the unknown. What do you think? Was the serpent a villain, a liberator, or something else entirely? Let us know in the comments below.